Shortly after 6, and I will call the October 15th meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. If you'd all stand, please, and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is approval of the minutes from the October 1st meeting and approval of minutes from the October 8th meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve as written.
So moved.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
The next, approval of warrants. I'll entertain a motion to approve general warrant number 1019 for $94,489.46. School warrant number 1018 for $58,922.56. Payroll warrant number 8 for $337,500.19. And debt warrant number 1017 for $1,199,748.22.
So moved.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so first order of business on the general agenda is we have the two, what would we call you, the owner, general manager, attorney?
Owner and legal counsel.
Legal counsel from Green Gold. They're here tonight to formally present the Lucas tool to the town and the fire department. If you haven't been with us or seen a meeting in a while, the Lucas tool is a life-saving tool that performs the CPR, right? The compressions in the CPR process, so that the emergency services people don't have to do it themselves, and they can attend to other life-saving measures. And one of our residents was saved by this tool. So what's that?
Yeah,
Two of our residents.
Two of them.
Two in 1 year.
Oh, well. And one is here tonight. So we approached Green Gold about acquiring this tool through the host community agreement, and they were gracious enough to get it to us in a hurry so that we didn't have to wait for the process of money coming into the town. So they're here tonight to present that and for us to thank them for this life-saving piece of equipment. So, Joe, do you want to,
Yeah, come on.
yeah.
Put it out right there. So yeah, we had two incidents in the last, as I see it, within the last year that we had really tough extrication situation going on with the people that were in distress, and they started on the phone with us on 911 calls and went into cardiac arrest when our personnel arrived on scene. And if you've never done CPR before, it's really complicated in the sense of doing it properly and maintaining life with a CPR call. I've been doing it since I was 17 years old, and needless to say, I'm 61. I've done many, and we've only had a few that even live 24 hours. And one of the reasons is, as CPR's developed, they found that the compressions are the most important thing, more so than the breathing. So compressions keep the oxygen and everything moving in the body, and as a result of that, we've transitioned to these companies that came up with these tools. And this Lucas machine in the state of Massachusetts has saved quite a few people. Actually, the numbers are going up as people are using them and getting them, but they're very expensive, of course. And we had the first incident happened on Brookfield Road, and there was a tough extrication. It was a roundhouse. It was up on a deck, and to get people down is almost similar to the second one. It took 12 or 14 of us to extricate the individual under the circumstances, and with the machine on that individual, we were able to get down those stairs properly and continue good cardiac rehab with the machine. So it's absolutely critical, and there's no question in my mind that these people wouldn't be here today without these machines. There's no question, especially with the extrications that were involved. It wasn't a simple out the door. It was half an hour shoring, because you start putting a few fatties on there like myself, and you get 10 to 12 people on a deck. I'm telling you, you're talking thousands of pounds. It's really complicated. So this machine just simplifies it and magnifies the chances of somebody living by huge numbers. And I get to experience it, see it myself, and Pat and these others, so absolutely unbelievable piece of equipment, whoever invented it.
Yes, it does.
So Pat, a couple words on the machine yourself, you want to just describe
It's
it?
just the state of art, it does chest compressions at a rate of 100 per minute. It does good quality compressions to the perfect depth. It's designed, it's fail-safe, it's a easy machine to use, easy machine to set up, and it is 100% more effective and life-saving quality CPR. It is a tool that it was doubtful that we would be able to get without the help and the donation from Green Gold. And we thank you on the ambulance squad, we thank you for it, and we, as a resident of the town, I thank you for it, because I know that this is extremely beneficial to every resident, not just in our town, but as they drive through it. This is a piece of equipment that will protect people and help with their medical emergency.
So you can see, this is the base that would go under the individual in distress. This actually snaps onto that, onto this device.
This
A
here in the
very
center
simple setup with the buttons for
is,
setting the pressure.
it brings down, sets the compression rate, and once it's set, you hit the play button, and it just continues to do 100 compressions per minute. It can go on this way, if we're bringing a person down a difficult way, if we have to extricate them down a hill, it'll stay like this on them and continue to perform its duties, which if you're doing CPR on a person on a stretcher, with one person doing it, it's not easy to do compressions at a standard rate, at the rate that they require. This will do it. This works as an extra pair of hands, and it leaves the paramedic and the EMT to do other skills needed to help in their recovery.
Yeah,
So
this will do compressions probably 50% times better than any individual doing them. No matter how good you think you are in a perfect situation, as soon as you start moving somebody, you're changing or getting tired, after a minute of CPR, your compressions change from, say, a 90% rate to about 60%. So by the time you hit the driveway 20 minutes later, you're probably doing a third what you should be doing on an individual, and of course that's gonna be detrimental to brain damage and everything else that's going on. So,
and like Joe said earlier, the compressions have decided that in the years that CPR has evolved, that compressions keeps the blood moving. It's while you want the breaths also, there's oxygen already in the blood from breathing before the person went down. But you need to keep that blood rotating, and this is what does it. When your heart's not beating, this will beat your heart for you. It's a great machine, and thank you so much for it.
yeah, we can't thank you enough. I mean, we just never thought we'd have it. We have a regional setup with our paramedics and EMS system. It works very well. Luckily, those other communities had them. But the last 3 days, we had 3-4 back-to-back calls. So we don't have those machines available when they're out and we're out, and we've got 2 other towns coming in. So it's nice to have it here and have it available. So we can't thank you enough for everything you've done, but this machine in particular right now. Thank you ever so much.
Very good. Thanks.
I know Sue wanted to say something, I'm sure.
Yeah, 1 second. I just want everybody to understand that as part of the host community agreement with Green Gold, we have some discretionary money that we've bargained with them. And that money is given to the town based on a need, but based on a committee. Legal counsel for Green Gold, Chief Smith from the police department, and myself meet to discuss where the money goes, when it goes, and whether Green Gold's name is attached to the donation. And when we approached them with this need for the Lucas tool, without hesitation, Ralph, the owner, and James, the legal counsel, without hesitation said we need to get that for the town of North Brookfield. So they can't be any more helpful to the town. So we appreciate that generosity. Because the way the money has to come into the town for us to expend it, and we're going to set up revolving accounts. We're not sure if that's going to fly with the state or not, but we're going to set up revolving accounts so that we can use the money. Otherwise, the town accountant says we need to receive it as free cash, which means the money won't be available to us until November of next year, which is way too long to wait for that life-saving tool. So we were able to get it with their generosity and their willingness to advance it to the town. So we do appreciate that very much. And one of the people that was saved by this tool that you're helping, you'd like to say something to?
I would.
Yeah, come on up.
Well, one of the, right, over there.
You're getting good at appearing in
Oh
front
my
of.
God, I know. It's getting to be old hat. First off, another plus to this particular tool is that and these guys will tell you, when they're doing compressions, a lot of times the person who works for the rescue squad or whatever ends up with a back issue. Then you've got a whole workers' compensation issue, and this completely eliminates that because, they're not doing it, the machine's doing it. So that's another plus to every town. And the other thing that I wanted to say is, having had that machine work on me, I was one of those people, as most people in town know by now. There's not a cardiologist or a physician that did not say that the reason that I am alive today was because of two factors. The fabulous job they did and the Lucas machine, because, a lot of people can come, have heart attacks, and if they don't have access to the Lucas machine, the rescue squad, what happens is a lot of times they save their life, but they've got brain damage because the blood didn't make it all the way up to the brain. This particular device is what makes the difference in that, so that you can come out of a horrific event whole. And although I do use the excuse that, if I forgot to pick up the milk on the way home, must have been because there wasn't enough flow going to the brain.
That works for you.
Yeah, so that's my excuse for forgetting things, but we're very fortunate to have a partner in our town like Green Gold that was willing to step up and help us out at a time like this. And I got to thank Dale and the group for going in there and asking you and talking to you about it. And we're very, very lucky, and I know that it will save lives in this town. There's no doubt in my mind, and I'm so very, very proud to be here. That's it. We're very lucky to be here. So thank you, and thank you, and thank you. And you, and you, and you.
James, Ralph, if you could come up, I'd like to take a picture, and it's not much, but we do have a certificate of appreciation that we'd like to give you if you're inclined to hang it in your facility. But it's just from the Board of Selectmen, a certificate of appreciation for helping us procure the Lucas Life Saving Tool. So thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank you. Absolutely.
So can you get the tool and yeah, take a picture with them presenting it to the fire department? That'd be great.
Hold it right in front of you.
Hold it, hold it, hold it.
One side, and I'll hold the other side.
I'll look short right here.
There you go.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Please. Thank you. I'm so happy you guys have it.
It's amazing. Whenever you call us, we see 40 guys jumping around.
And thanks for taking the time. Oh, absolutely.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
I just want to briefly say, thank you to everyone in town for welcoming Green Gold, welcoming Ralph, and welcoming us into the community. Since we first started here, way back in planning board meetings in 2016, it's been nothing but fantastic. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with North Brookfield. I work with communities all across the Commonwealth trying to get these projects going, and it really is something unique here. The attitude of the town, the feedback from the town, the fact with Chief Hallway, with Selectman Kiley and the Select Board, with Chief Smith, you have some absolutely fantastic, completely devoted public servants here who really are bringing some great things to the community, And we couldn't be prouder to be a part of that, couldn't be happier that we've been able to be part of that. So thank you all so much for letting us be part of the community here. It's been fantastic, and we look forward to being part of it for years to come.
Great.
Hopefully never get to use it.
Yeah, you guys too, thank you.
Yep, thank you guys. Thanks for coming out tonight, appreciate it.
Now, no more thanks.
All right. So, we're late for our poll meeting, poll hearing. We have National Grid. I see you're here today. So we will open the poll hearing for Donovan Road.
The first one, there's both on Donovan Road.
Both Donovan Road?
Yeah, there's one for 3 poles and
Oh,
one
yeah,
for
one
1
for
pole.
3 and then one for 1. Different locations on Donovan?
Slightly, yes.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
There's the 3 poles, that's the one I have on for 6:15.
So.
If you could step up so that, yeah,
sure,
people
I'm
can't get it
great,
on the,
Sorry.
they
That's
can't
o-
hear.
is this
Yeah,
okay?
good, perfect, thanks.
So from National Grid, we need to install 3 solely owned SO poles on Donovan Road, beginning at a point approximately 175 feet east of the center line, at the intersection of West Brookfield Road, and continuing approximately 450 feet in an easterly direction. So we'd be installing poles 44S, 43, and 42 on Donovan Road down to the West Brookfield Road intersection to extend secondary to that road.
Why are they needed? Is it new
It's a
construction?
solar,
Oh, solar?
Brookfield, yes.
Yeah, okay,
Both of these are for the solar.
yep. Anybody here that abuts that, or
Yeah,
did you want to be heard?
Donovan Road?
yeah, yes, I do.
Okay,
Okay. Right now, we have a right-of-way, you know, that the electric company used up to about 20 years ago going across our property, but it's not on the road. They abandoned that, but they left a pole up so we could get our wires and stuff. And then I see this, and I'm just wondering what they plan on doing, because where your pole 1 is, you know, crosses the road to the, right where the 7 and 5 Donovan Road come together. Then it goes onto our property with another pole down the old right-of-way and all that. And, you know, and it dead ends there, since you got rid of the wires years ago, we're at the dead end part of it. Okay, so it looks like you wanna put poles down the road. You don't wanna
Yes.
go across our property again, do you?
Well, it's the, I don't know, is it okay for me to walk over there? Or-
yeah, if you need to.
Or I can talk
Because,
to
I
him
mean,
after.
you know, I have my plot plan and I have my deed here and all that. And, you know, years ago, you know, when they were putting in the cable for the town, they went across our property and it's no right of way. We don't use it, the cable, but it goes right across our property. Nobody ever asked permission and all that, so I just want to make sure this doesn't happen again.
If we needed to put something across your property, we have to have what's called an easement,
Yeah.
and we have to get permission.
You also have a right of way under Central Mass Electric.
In certain, certain distance,
So you're
into
gonna
the-
change the
from the
feed into my-
street.
Are you gonna change the feed to my house?
no, which house are you at?
5.
Okay, we're gonna put pole 42,
Yeah.
if you look, okay.
Yeah, how would I get electricity? Would I get it like I'm getting now? She's running up and she stole my
So it's
sheet of
it's
paper.
easier to see it on here. So this means installing a new pole,
Yeah,
so that's gonna be right there.
okay. But,
This is the,
That's
this is
just
the
right in front
existing
of the
pole.
road?
Yep.
yeah, but right now, there's a pole here. Can you use this corner, you guys? Right now, there's a pole here, and there's a pole right here about where your fee is. So, you know, you're gonna have a pole here that's 10 feet from the wire. Then you're gonna have a pole here, and you're gonna have another pole here about 50 feet away, and you're gonna have parallel lines running right next
Yeah,
to each other.
we don't actually own, it has to cross the road because of the way the road curves just a little bit. We're not gonna own this pole that's on your property.
You've owned it for many years, it's on here, it's on my plot plan, and I can show you what you guys want. See, this is your right of way across my property right here. It's in my deed.
Okay, well, if we have that right away, then absolutely, but
Yeah.
what's your actual question?
My question is, are you gonna leave all these poles up? Are you gonna take down what's there now and you're
Okay,
gonna
I see
feed,
what
are you
you're
gonna,
saying. I see what
are you
you're
gonna
saying.
feed it in from pole 40? Am I gonna be fed from
No, it's
pole
gonna go,
42?
it's gonna go, look here,
Yeah.
it's gonna go just like that.
Yeah, but where am I gonna get my electricity from?
Yours is.
You already have electricity,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Yeah,
Nothing's
it's
gonna
nothing
change for you.
changed.
Okay, so it's just the same, so
So
okay, you're
just
gonna put a
one
pole up
pole
there on the road and then my post.
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah,
I got
yeah,
it.
that's
So you can have two poles side by
so-
side, really, carrying electricity.
Okay.
Okay, I was just wondering if they're gonna consolidate into one pole. I mean, if I was doing
Yeah.
it myself, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be the plan right now.
Okay.
But,
You might, just saying they're there.
Well, we've already been out there to stake this out and everything. If the trees weren't issued, we would have already said, hey, if it's on your property, can we do anything about it?
No, okay.
If not, then we'd have to go to the town.
Okay, so I just wonder if you're still gonna come in the same
Yes.
route you are now?
Yes.
And you don't care if these poles are so
No,
close to each
because-
other and you're gonna have a
because-
line here and a line there?
Because this is for to bring the secondary down this way,
Okay.
not for you.
Why,
Because you already have-
There's nobody who has solar on Donovan Road.
Right, but it's,
Coming
it
from
can be
Birch.
from
Okay.
way far away.
Yeah.
all right, we have to
Okay.
move on. All
Okay,
right, good?
okay.
We good? Okay.
I guess so, yeah.
Anything to be said on that? Nope. Good. I'll entertain a motion to approve. So moved. I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All right. And the next one is 6:30.
6:20.
6:20?
Yeah.
I got 6:30 on my agenda, but are we posted for 6:20? We posted for 6:20, I'll do it now.
I thought I posted it for 6:20.
I can sit if y'all want, it's up to y'all,
It says 6:30 on here.
you're the boss.
Yeah.
You got 1 minute.
Well, hold on, I gotta see.
You can read the letter from Ann and then do it.
Yeah, why did I do that?
Only got a minute.
Give me a couple minutes. Okay, so the next order of business is a letter from Ann Genetti regarding the renewal of our senior Medicare plan. You want to read that into the record?
Sure, both of these are the same, I think, so.
Yeah. Yeah, just a cover letter.
The Insurance Advisory Committee met on Tuesday, October 8th, to address the 2020 renewal for the town's Medicare supplement plans. There are some slight prescription drug changes mandated by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. The overall increase averages 1.26%. This has been accounted for in the current budget and no additional funding is needed. The Insurance Advisory Committee respectfully requests the board's approval to renew our Medicare contracts with Blue Cross and Blue Shield and the Fallon Medicare plan. Respectfully submitted, Ann Genetti, Treasurer.
So I guess I'll entertain a motion to approve their request.
So moved.
Yeah, approval to renew the contract. I'll second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, 6:30, we'll do that second poll hearing. This is also for Donovan Road, but it's one poll.
Good, so this is one pole, jointly owned pole on Donovan Road, 95 feet west of the center line of the intersection of Brookfield Road. This is gonna be a mid-span pole mid-span pole 32-50 between poles 32 and 33. And this is for, it's called a recloser, to increase reliability.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah. It's fine. You get it when you get it.
You missed all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I figured that. Sorry, folks.
So it's the poll petition, one poll, Donovan Road.
Okay.
Do you need to hear the spiel again? Or?
No.
Good. All right. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that, unless there's some opposition. Anybody? We're good?
Not at this time.
Any
So moved.
comment?
Second?
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, you're good.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. All right. Public comment period.
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
No, I already
You
said
sound
my spiel.
surprised.
I said my spiel. No, I'm just so happy that the town now is in a safer place, you know? And one of the things that we forgot to mention too is that they can, when you have that Lucas machine on you, they can also use the paddles on you to jumpstart your heart while it's doing the compressions.
Oh, well,
I forgot about that. That's a massive plus.
yeah.
So that thing's going the whole time. It's fantastic. It really is. So, that's all.
Yep, we're good.
Doing a great job,
Brandon,
boys. Keep up the
anything?
good work.
Anything?
Just want a reminder of townhouse cleanup Saturday, if anybody wants to come help out. There's a lot of stuff that has to be removed, so it's gonna be a lot of work, especially for us older people, so.
Yep, at the townhouse. Do we have a start time yet?
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock?
Donations
And,
are accepted, I understand.
Well, donations are always.
yeah, donations always accepted, and there were some people grabbing some chairs and
Yeah.
some tables. Last Saturday, I was up there. And I think they're gonna put some furniture out for people to take tomorrow or the next day. So if you see it outside on the road, it's available for people to acquire.
Yeah,
It's no longer needed.
there was, might wait till Friday because of the rain.
Okay,
Supposed to be coming tomorrow, so, yeah,
yeah,
things like a surfboard in there, and
yeah.
all kinds of nice stuff.
What did Trish say? Did she give a date?
Thursday and Friday, she said, depending on weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so if you see it out on the road, then it's available for any resident to acquire, so feel free to take that material. Anything else? So we had one announcement. Is there a script for the announcement, or, no?
No,
They
you
just
just
Tara
said you wanted
wanted
to think.
Yeah, the new sign up in the center of town, we anticipated it going live this past week, but we need to get an Ethernet cable installed inside the townhouse to get to the computer that fires up the sign. We were told it was wireless and that nothing was needed, but evidently there's some IT inside the building that needs to be upgraded. So we're looking to have that up and running. There's one more piece that's gonna be mounted underneath the sign, so it's not gonna be just black underneath, it'll be framed all in white, so it'll look nice. But we need to thank Howell Lumber for donating, that panel that you built.
Most of the wood, the Trex decking for it.
Yep.
Yep.
And that looks really nice, if you haven't been behind that sign. Your construction and the decking itself is really nice looking. Too bad nobody's gonna see it. Troy Brown has donated a lot of time and material to get that sign going, so we need to thank Troy for his efforts. John, of course, put in a lot of time and effort getting that thing up and running, so.
I'm gonna be doing the outside wiring on it.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
the jumping from the back?
Yeah,
I thought they already did that.
no,
Oh, okay.
from the panel board to the sign, you need
Oh.
110 to that.
Yep,
I
okay,
did it halfway Friday, I'm gonna try to finish it tomorrow.
okay, perfect. So look for that coming soon, and thank you to everybody that helped out with that sign. We appreciate it. It'll carry a lot of information for people. It'll scroll and change every 5-10 seconds, so we look forward to that.
And I'd like to thank the people that did the landscaping around it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did a good job.
yeah, thanks. Those roots were a backbreaker, weren't they? I pulled 3 of them and said, forget it.
Yeah.
How are you gonna cut them?
You got the good job, you got to plant those pretty mums. They look good though, you did a nice job.
Yeah, we had to get through weed fabric. They had like double weed fabric
Yeah.
down underneath that.
Is that what they had, Sharon? It took us
I
an hour and a
think
half. It took us an hour and a half to get the rest of them all.
Yeah, I believe it.
And,
I've already had quite a few
Too, so that's
compliments on the sign.
as much as I want.
You know, that it really makes the town, the center look a lot better
Yeah,
with it being remade and then the flowers and everything. And yeah.
yep, I can't wait for it to start working.
I
Be that
spoke
much
with
better.
Alicia Anderson, that she does the landscaping usually down there, and I think we're gonna go with the black mulch
Okay.
instead of the red the next time.
That'll look nice.
Oh, yeah,
Just, it's gonna make the sign pop because it's white.
right, yeah,
So
perfect.
that's in
It
the
really
works.
modernizes the town too.
Yeah.
It really, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a guy tell me he wanted to donate the black mulch also, so
Oh, nice.
we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and I talked to Joe, Joey Hallway came up, and he pulled off those angle irons that were sticking out, so thanks to Joe for coming up. Well, looking at the trees back there, that pine tree that is on its way out and is crowded out, so we were thinking of taking those trees out, all of them, and then Joe was gonna pour a base that we could get a new pine tree every year, stick it into the base and decorate it.
For Christmas, you mean?
For Christmas, yeah,
That's
because,
a good idea.
because then you can go around the tree with lights instead of just draping them up and down and
Yeah.
haphazardly, so, that's kind of, something to think about going forward.
In the spring,
Yeah.
after this Christmas.
Yeah,
We don't always
after you
do it.
finish the two other projects.
Yeah, let me get,
Oh, warrants, did we do the warrant? Did you have the,
I have the articles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can do those, I forgot all about those, we gotta set those.
I wouldn't know what to do that.
So the special town meeting has been set for November 8th to disperse the free cash that we have. So we have a number of articles. The first article is to make revolving accounts for the green gold money. So that will be pursuant to Chapter 4453E and a half, making 4 revolving accounts, one to pay the fire truck lease, one to pay for police, one to pay for fire, and then the discretionary funds. The caps are listed there. And then we're looking to transfer money into stabilization. The FinCom has recommended 100,000 into stabilization. 100,000 into capital improvement stabilization. And then money into the Finance Committee reserve account, which can be spent by the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen, joint vote. We need $5,000 back to the fire department. They took money out of their account to get the down payment for the truck that we have, so we need to replenish that. So that's 5,000 there. They're looking for 20,000 for an OPM to do the fire building committee, to review the plans and the architecture to see if we can save money. An OPM usually saves you more money than they cost you, so the FinCom thinks that's a wise investment. 500 from the assistant fire chief's salary account to the fire prevention, that's transfer, purchase of fire, they're looking to transfer money. The air tank account, that, they're looking to transfer, this says free cash.
That's how he wrote it in.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be.
it's
just
not
be
coming from free cash.
From available.
Yeah. That was, he had some money in it.
Yeah,
He had half of what the lease payment was.
he has like 13 in it, and that's what he needs, is the 16.
He needs to make the payment,
Mhm.
which is due April
Of 2020.
of 2020. I think that was coming out of the, I think we were doing Gringo money, but it's not coming out of free cash, that's coming from somewhere else, so we gotta fix
Just-
that.
okay.
Just raise, appropriate, do the language of,
another one, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, that
previous one that
language.
says raise, appropriate, borrow, or transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll identify the source at the meeting. Available funds, there's a number of police facility expenses. The police department facility is in need of repairs. And these are all been identified. These are coming from free cash. The facility light control panel needs repairs. Parking lot needs to be it's not resurfaced. What are we doing?
Seal coating.
Seal coated.
Brookfield
Seal coated. Equipment repair for portable radios, and this is gonna save us about 50% on the portable radios. There's a deal that we're getting, so the investment to replace the portable radios, which are outdated, and does it not get the high band? What's the issue with the radios?
Eventually, within a year, year and a half, or 2 years, they go into a P25, which is the new band.
Yep.
These radios, you can't convert to that, so we'd have to replace these radios anyway. And right now, they're both, all three that we're replacing are, in my opinion, we should be using period, just because they're not functioning the way they should be. So that's when I approached the board and said, we get this 50%, close to 50% off deal with trade-ins and the ones that don't work, because we'd have to replace them anyway. So, and these will not be usable at all within the next year and a half.
Yeah, so it's gonna save us money to do it now, and we have the free cash to do it now, so it's the radio replacement for the police department. And the taser is on its final phases. We have one taser for the department, two tasers.
We have two, we had a third one, this one's down. So what we run into the problem now is that if another one goes down, then we're potentially sending officers out there without the tools, so we're trying to replace the one that is way past its life.
Yeah, and it's better to have the less lethal force out there, some kind of intermediate level. So that's 1,700 and some change for taser. More money for lighting repairs around the station, and then the cruiser lease payment, 26,000. That lease payment needs to be made. The heating and plumbing system is a problem. It's one of those things where there's it's going to lead to cascading problems. So if we don't repair this, it's one of the motors. There's two of them, I understand, right? One of them's down, so the other one's working harder.
Correct.
So it's going to end up being a cascading problem if we don't fix it now. Then the other one's going to go, we'll have nothing, and we'll have twice the repair cost.
It's a lot of the piping issue. I mean, it's stop in and see it done. It's truly just rotting away. So now that whole section is down. We have one pump controlling everything, and like Mr. Kiley said, that if we don't fix it, we're going to burn out that system. So.
Snow and ice accounts, where'd that come from? That hasn't been mentioned.
That's what Highway sent me.
Highways. No.
Get that out of there?
Yeah, strike that, because we
Okay.
paid the snow and ice with money that we had already.
Okay.
We did that intentionally.
That's already
At the
been
beginning.
taken care
Yeah,
of.
it should have been already taken care of. Borrow, transfer, the lease agreement. Yeah, we take that out. That wasn't presented to the finance committee at all, so
The
they're
lease
not gonna,
agreement too?
they're not gonna wanna do that.
What's that, for a new truck or the one that we have, the dump truck?
Yeah, the lease payment, on the one we already have. Yeah. That should have already been paid for. I thought that went into his line items, so we'll double check that. I'll double check that, but.
Okay.
That wasn't presented to the finance committee meeting the other night, so. Accept the chapter 90 apportionment of 303,000. Don't we do that at the annual town meeting?
I think so. Unless they're doing it twice a year, but I don't.
You want to double check?
Yeah, double check with them. I mean, you can leave it on there, and we'll just pass over it if it's not something that needs to be done.
Okay.
15,000 into the highway road materials. I think you might have to change that number. I think think it was a couple thousand less than that, I think it was 14 or 13
Oh,
that the
2015.
finance committee approved.
You want me to check with the finance?
Yeah, I'll get you the number that the
Okay.
finance committee approved. It's around there, but it's less than that. It was only, it was all the money we had available, so we can't go over that or we'll be in deficit,
Yeah.
so. Then there's transfer within the highway, that's okay, 7548. Transfer the sum. I'm not sure what that 7,500 into the highway salary account is.
She said, she gave me copies of, basically what their salary got approved at was not what it should have been approved at a higher for, Jason's salary. So their salary got approved at 232, but they need it to be, no, they need 232, but it was only approved at 225, 420. So that's something that needs to go to FinCom, not to.
Yeah, because that, it was
Oh, she
approved
just
like
gave
that
me-
because we gave them, that was more money than the 2%
Okay.
by the contract, so I don't know where that extra
She's
money
saying
comes
she
from.
needs 7,500 more to make it,
Yeah,
no. I'll put it on.
no, I don't think that's true. Highway administrative account, nope, that didn't come in front of FinCom either.
Okay.
So the ones that they didn't bring in front of FinCom, we're gonna strike out because
I don't think that the first one on that page is is within their department. It looks like they want,
to borrow into the highway utilities account for an unpaid bill. Yeah, they didn't bring that to FinCom either, so I don't know why they're putting things forward that they didn't bring up with the finance
so the
committee.
only thing that they should have brought to me was the highway road materials.
Highway road materials was
essentially.
the only
Yeah, that
thing.
was the only thing,
Yeah.
okay. So I'll leave that and strike everything else.
Yeah,
And I'll check with the chapter 20 thing.
then there's an article for money in the water retained earnings. And that one is a, what do they call that? What kind of account is that? Water and sewer?
Does it say?
They have their own,
Yeah.
Yeah.
their own funding, in the words escape.
Retained earnings account. Is that it?
Yeah, no, they're, the water and the sewer department
I can't think of it either.
run on there. They have a special name for it, it's not like a revolving account, revolves around.
It's a type of
there.
fund.
It's a type of fund that they have, and it's escaping me now, but they fund themselves, so whatever transfers they make, it doesn't affect the town's general
Right.
budget.
But it still needs to be on here for approval.
Yeah, so they need to move it, they can, that's fine.
Okay.
So it's just interdepartmental, is that what it is? From water to water.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, enterprise fund.
That's the one, yep.
Okay.
So they get to move that kind of money around by themselves. Then, there's money for, there's money for the North Brookfield Emergency Management. They currently don't have telephone and internet service at their emergency operations center, which is problematic. So there's, they've been approved for some funds to get the telephones and the internet installed and to run it for the rest of the fiscal year. And then we'll put it in their line items next year. And it's small money. And then a couple of zoning bylaws.
Yeah, there's 4 articles on the zoning.
Yep, zoning, they're rather lengthy.
You know how those planning board people are.
I know, very wordy. And you can read them, we'll have them, once the warrant is approved, we will post them on the website and on the town hall window for anybody that wants to read them. They'll be available, so you can read in advance the zoning board changes. Then there's $25,000 from free cash to the planning board for the master plan for Sue's expenses.
My trip to Tahiti.
Yeah, it's you and who? There's two people.
Well, right now it's
John Turner.
John Turner and I, but we are bringing on Sheila Orsi's going to be assisting, Brandon's helping with the historical stuff.
Okay.
And Bob Locatelli's going to help us with a few things as well as Ann Hicks.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
we've got a crew.
Because the master plan is outdated, it needs to be updated every 10 years, and we're a few years behind that.
Yeah.
And with the master plan comes grant funding, so we can't get grants without a master plan in place, so we need to have it in place, so this $25,000 will go towards developing the master plan and the printing and the research and the assistance that we need. So the finance committee has approved that also. And then the town clerk's salary account, there's money going into the town clerk's salary because she's going to be open more hours a week. She was, what, two days, a few hours in the
Yeah.
evening?
Tuesday, Wednesdays, 9 to noon, and then Tuesday evenings, 5 to 8, so it's
Yeah.
not.
And Tara's finding that she can't get all the work done. Sheila was there as an assessor, so she was in the building and she could kind of multitask, but Tara is just a town clerk. She can't get everything done in the amount of time. People want access to her, and when we did the math, believe it or not, for the amount of hours she was open and the amount that she was getting now, it came out to be $68 an hour, is that it?
I think just under 62, 61 and change.
Yeah, 60-something dollars an hour, which is outrageous. So she's gonna be open a lot more hours, the pay's going up only slightly, so it comes down to something reasonable. So that's what that money's for. The town treasurer salary account,
I
there's.
had it worded 2 different ways, because I wasn't sure. I got one from you and one from Ann, worded differently.
All right, well, go with the ands then, because this is, so we're looking to consolidate the town treasurer and the town collector position into one position. So with that, we're going to get an assistant for each one. Well, there's going to be one town treasurer, town collector, and an assistant to do those functions. We can do that under mass law, they can be combined, so we're looking to save money, streamline the process. So some of that money is going to go into the salary account with an eye towards consolidating. And then there's $1,500 that she requested for the payroll account. There were some increases that were unforeseen in our, what is that? She explained it to us, do you remember what it was? The payroll, it's not payroll like paying somebody, but it's associated costs with doing the payroll, Harper's payroll, I think it is.
Yeah, so it's like a
So-
vendor fee or something.
So that's that money, 5,000 to the school roof principal account?
That was from Ann.
Huh?
Ann gave me that.
Yeah, that didn't come to the finance committee.
Okay.
Um,
The second time, I probably didn't either.
Unless, debt exclusion, so we'll need to find out what that's for. If it's just money that needs to come from somewhere else, but that's not free cash money. That'll throw all our numbers off, so,
Okay, see where she's trying to pull it from.
yeah, see what that's about. To see if we'll transfer from available funds to the accountant software maintenance account.
That's, Tom gave me that because if they are gonna hire an assistant to the treasurer and collector, they're gonna need an additional sign-in for the Tyler software, and that's gonna cost $779.
Yeah.
But that
we-
didn't come to FinCom either, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
didn't come to FinCom.
So cross it out.
Yep. And they're gonna have to do it the right way or they're not gonna get the money, that's just craziness. And then we get an article here for a parcel of land. I think Brandon, that was you, right?
Yep.
That's, what is that, a separate triangle that we don't already have, or?
No, the town owns this tax title property, but talking about getting it included on the spring one last time with the 48 Brickyard Road, but it didn't get, we ran out of time, didn't get it in time.
Okay.
Right. I
So,
remember that,
so
yeah.
Brickyard got protected under that article, whatever, in the
Yeah,
mass.
this would be the same thing.
And we want to put this, is this,
It's that triangle between Bullet Road and Brickyard,
yeah?
and the rail trail is right there. We want to make a little parking area there.
Does it
at some
abut,
point.
does that abut the other property that we just took, or is it
No,
not
it's
connected?
the rail trail, but to get to the other property from that area, you need to go down the trail. You can get to the other, because there's, what's his name on the corner there? I can't his last name, but there's a property on the corner that kind of separates the rail trail from part of 48 Brickyard Road, which we included last time.
Yep.
So this kind of is providing like
Protection.
a protection for this little triangle, but it's
Yep.
also a jumping off point to get you on the rail trail to that
Okay.
backside of the.
That's not the,
48 Brickyard
that
Road.
little dip area that had water in it, and we looked at it with Mary Ann,
No.
right
no,
aside, that's
no,
different.
No.
Now, will this
Bullet
affect?
Road goes like this, Brickyard is here,
Yeah,
and this is the rail trail here. So it's this triangle here. Is where the school used to be also,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Brandon and I put
Provide a
that
little
plaque up.
explanation, I don't know,
yeah,
you have it there?
yeah,
Yeah, so that's,
okay. Yeah, for the school district. Now, if we do this, if we protect it like that, can we make it a parking lot?
I don't see
yeah, I
why
mean,
not.
they did it down the town park, same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah, you're using it for that, purpose, you can't.
Yeah, we're just not gonna pave it, right? We're just
You
gonna
can't.
No,
chip it or
just-
something?
Yep.
Okay,
Clear a few trees, we don't have to clear much, just kind of brush and make 6 or 8 parking spaces in there, just with
Yeah, yeah.
gravel or whatever.
Related to the
The rail trail.
conservation
Yep.
of the area,
perfect.
you can have parking.
So those are the warrants. I guess we have to have them posted 2 weeks prior to
November.
the 8th, so do we have to do them? 8th. 1, 2. So we can do them next Tuesday.
Finalizing next Tuesday.
Right, so you put them on the warrant thing and we sign
Right,
them
you
and
sign
post
it.
them.
Yep, okay.
We can do that. 1, 2, yep. That'll be 18 days prior,
Okay.
so we're good.
What's next Tuesday's?
So look into those.
What's next Tuesday's date?
22.
Okay.
Yep, so look into those articles. We'll finalize warrant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Any questions on the warrant? Anything you,
Oh, look, all right.
yep, anything?
Move to adjourn.
Alrighty then.
Did Highway come for a pickup truck and a chipper?
Chipper, pickup, yep, they did.
And it was,
Well, we don't have the money.
right.
Yeah, there's no.
I didn't see it in there, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
They gave him the road materials. The chipper came down quite a bit
Yeah.
from what he was asking for originally, and they support it. The other issue is the flooring at the school is a problem. So we just didn't have enough time to get it on the warrant because we need to look at it. It can be done in phases. They were looking for 180, yes,
That's what you said.
$180,000 to re-floor it, but we don't have that kind of money, so John Kuchar says we can do it in phases. There's a bad spot we can fix and then another not-so-bad spot, so we're gonna look at that. I think you're going up Friday, right? Friday.
Or Tuesday.
Tuesday, sometime.
What is it, in the gym?
The locker room.
Locker room.
Oh, the
Yeah.
locker room.
Yep. So, I tried to make arrangements to go see it, but I forgot we have a meeting tomorrow night with East Brookfield, so I'm gonna have to,
I have planning board tomorrow night, so
okay,
I can't
all right.
do that and the other one.
Yeah.
They're both at the same time, I think, right? 7?
Are they
7?
7?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the police station.
Yeah, police station. So, we'll look to get together with the school and develop a plan, but we told them that we were gonna put the money into capital stabilization, and I think that brings us up to close to 300,000 in capital stabilization, which we can start using for capital expenses, which is a good thing, but I just wanted to do it piecemeal instead of dropping 180 at one time. Do it in phases over 3 years, so we'll go look at that with the school and
Yep.
develop a plan and come back to the town with that.
As long as it's not unsafe,
Well, there's one portion that is, and that's why,
do that first.
yeah, John
Yep.
Kuchar said that needs to be done. But I understand that he told them this a couple of years ago, so we only found out because we asked them what their capital needs were, and they gave them to us, so I know it's been on their radar for a couple of years. But we'll address that. So there's a motion to adjourn on the table. Wait a second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.